Hello, this is Jeffrey Major Hawkins, and this video will cover the technology lesson demonstration assignment for Education 630 at Liberty University. For my assignment, the technology component that I chose to add to a lesson was the technology component of Nearpod. Nearpod is something that I personally have very little experience with, but something that other educators that I know in the field kind of helped me and guided me towards, and something that they use often, something that I found pretty interesting. I think it had some positives, some negatives, but overall I thought it was a nice addition to my lesson. So I'll kind of get into it now and show you kind of how it was used in my lesson. So here we'll see kind of a PowerPoint that I have. This is on a Virginia Standard of Learning 3 for 8th grade World Geography. As you can see, this will be regional concepts is the total overall SOL. And then the first standard within it is this slide, physical regions. So this is kind of the PowerPoint that I would have up in front of the class as I'm teaching. And so the first PowerPoint bullet point is the Sahara. So I'd be kind of going over this slide, teaching on this slide, obviously having more notes that I'll be using in my lecture. And then as I'm doing that, the students would be on this slide right here, which would be the Sahara. So you'll see it actually starts with physical regions, just like my PowerPoint did, and then they'll go to Sahara. So it kind of matches up very nicely, flows really well. And I would have the students sit on this slide for the time being while I go over and kind of instruct them on everything. And then as I finish up my notes for the Sahara, they would be able to flip to the next slide on the Nearpod, which is actually something that's really cool. And it's a virtual reality of the Sahara Desert. So they can, it's a 360, you can then go all the way around. It's a true kind of virtual reality experience, something that's really cool. And then the next slide is actually another one, but it's the Sahara at night, which I also found really cool. So students are able to kind of really put themselves almost like in the shoes. Some people would call it almost a virtual field trip. It's almost like they're in the Sahara and they just never have to leave their laptop. So it's something that's really cool. Again, I would make sure that the students kind of held on this slide while I was talking, just because I think that this could easily turn into a distraction, as they're just kind of wandering around looking at virtual reality. So I think managing the classroom is something that'd be really important to monitor during that. But they have this, and there's actually even a short answer segment right here. So what is the average daytime and average nighttime temperature in the Sahara Desert? I would have the students when once instructed, okay, now go to the slide that has the short answer for the Sahara Desert. They would be able to answer it. This would, you'd like for this to be a question that you just covered in your slideshow, on your PowerPoint, your notes, something that's just kind of a quick, quickly retain information. And then as they put that in, I'll actually be able to see their answers immediately. So I'll kind of know if, hey, maybe I need to go back and touch on this again. They obviously didn't get that. That's probably, I think, the coolest thing about the Nearpod is that the instant data-driven that it gives you, data-driven analytics that it gives you. And so you're kind of able to see like, oh, like right from the get-go, I did not cover that well enough, or okay, they got it, time to move on to the next. So moving on to the next slide is the Tiger region. And so this would be, again, my PowerPoint slide that would have I would have up in front of me or behind me in the front of the class. And then as I'm going over this slide, I would have the students flip to the next, like this right here, the next slideshow on the Nearpod. And again, I'd have them hold here just so they don't get, like I said, kind of distracted. And then here we have another virtual reality experience of that physical region. And so they would use that. We can go to the next one, and here we have another just quick short answer question that I'd be able to have them answer right away. Something that, again, gives me instant feedback and just kind of allows me to see, okay, I need to touch on this maybe a little bit more. Maybe I got it good enough, time to move on. And something else I could use this with is just kind of like seeing how maybe I could implement it as a general coursework grade, just participation points, something like that, that would keep the students engaged and allows them to make sure that they're paying attention and, following along. The one thing that I could see this turning into, I've already hit on it, would be kind of the distraction piece. So I think it'd be really important to, maintain good classroom management. This could easily turn into something that students are playing around with, kind of like, using while you're trying to teach. So I would make sure that, they stay on the information slide until it's time to move on. But overall, I think it has more positive effects than it does negative. And it was something that I found really interesting as I used for the first time. Thank you.